Hello everyone and welcome back to Neverwinter Nights. I'm really excited because actually chapter 3 is my favorite part of this game because here there be dragons.
This has become something of a habit, has it not? Once more Neverwinter is threatened, and once more you are called upon to save us all. I must admit I was glad when Lord Nasher informed me you would be coming on this mission as well. The thought of being apart from you was unpleasant. Neverwinter has need of me, and of you. We must all do our part if this latest threat to the city is to be thwarted.
It is an honor to serve Neverwinter, Aaron.
Neverwinter has need of all her allies now, whether they serve for honor, duty, or gold. I have examined the reconnaissance reports of my operatives in the field, and the situation is grim indeed. The Luskan armies are marching against Neverwinter with Erebeth at their head, ravaging the land as they pass and leaving only destruction in their wake. Perhaps even more troubling are the reports of orcs and some of the Uthgard tribes joining Erebeth and the Luskan army to pillage and plunder.
I can't believe Erebeth betrayed Neverwinter.
Perhaps had we been more observant, Erebeth's betrayal would not have been such a surprise. She was never the same after Fenthic's execution. She abandoned us. But part of me wonders if we did not first turn our backs on her suffering. But hindsight serves no purpose now. Erebeth has vowed revenge against Neverwinter. The pain of her loss makes her blind to anything else. It is up to us to see she does not get the revenge she seeks.
Is there no one who comes to the defense of Neverwinter?
The Lord's Alliance has come to our aid. Without them, our plague-weakened city would already have come under siege. And several of the Uthgard stand with us. The Red Tiger and Black Lion tribes have made camp with us here at Biaruna's Well, and Uthgard Holy Site. But Erebeth and the Luskan army are best left to the generals in the field. You have a much more important mission.
Have your spies learned anything of Maugrim?
The few reports I have heard of Maugrim indicate he is not with the Luskan army. It seems he is content to leave the battles to Erebeth. I believe Erebeth and the Luskan invaders are but a decoy, a distraction to draw our troops and resources away from the true threat.
A decoy?
It has not been easy to gather information on Maugrim's cult, but we know they are frantically searching for the ancient artifacts known as the Words of Power.
Yeah, I found that.
Though we do not yet know what these words are, or why Maugrim desires them, we know there are at least 3 of these artifacts. We must not let them fall into the hands of the cult. You must find these ancient words before Maugrim does. If you do not, then I fear any victory by the Lord's Alliance will prove meaningless.
Any idea where I should be looking for the Words of Power?
There are reports of Maugrim's followers searching throughout the land. The hills and mountains to the north, the forests to the west, even the sprawling farmlands to the south. I wish I had more guidance for you. Perhaps you can learn more from Lillian Cambridge, an expert on ancient artifacts who claims to have some knowledge of the Words of Power.
I've just noticed that I'm like in this table. How long has that been happening?
Lillian has promised to offer whatever help she can to any of my agents in this matter. You could probably find her in the tavern in the southeast corner of the camp. I know this may seem an impossible task, but I can think of no other person I would rather have undertaking this mission than you.
And what should I do once I find these Words of Power?
If you find one of the words, bring it back to me here. My underground network will transport it to the safety of Lord Nasher's castle.
What's in this for me?
Rest assured, my mercenary friend, you will be greatly rewarded if you manage to recover any of the Words of Power. Neverwinter and the Lord's Alliance will be most generous.
Anything else?
I regret there is nothing more I can tell you. Even the little information I have already given came at great cost. Many of my best men and women gave their lives for it.
I'll be going now.
Good luck, and be careful. I would hate to lose you.
Yeah, we accidentally started Aaron's romance. He's nowhere close to Valen Shadowcraft. Aaron Ganda suggested that you could speak with Lillian Cambridge, a renowned archaeologist. She is known to spend time at the drinking house in Beirut as well. Words of power. The words of power must be found before Magram and his cult locate them and turn the ancient artifacts against Neverwinter. Though lost for centuries, reports indicate that 3 of the words can be found in the lands near Beirun as well. As the words are located, they should be brought back to Eringen to Beirun as well, so they can be delivered to the safety of Castle Never. Alright, so here we go. Time to talk.
It is a pleasure to see you again. Yet, duty is there anything I can do for you? To help you in your quest, I mean.
No.
Good luck, and...
Alright, I thought I could continue Aaron's tale. Oh, speaking of Aaron's tale, I should put some stuff away. Crypt key, I don't need that anymore. Okay. Alright, we need a companion. Who do we have? We had Dalen, and Dalen didn't die yet. So, Sharwin... Alright, let's just get them in the order and get their stories. Let's get their stories first, because they are quests.
Nice to see you again. That cheerful Gen fellow brought you here too, huh? Looking for some words of power or summit, hmm?
It's good to see you again, Tommy. I was gonna take a long hike and look around for my old friend Sammy. Bet he's around here somewhere. But somehow I knew we'd bump into each other again. Well, to make the story short, I kind of was caught doing something I shouldn't have when I was somewhere I shouldn't have been. So Mr. Gen said I had to come and help you or else. Figures you'd be here too, my lady. What, you being a great hero and all. Bet you didn't have to come like I did either. Do you know anything about the words of power? Me? Heck no. You might want to trot up to Coldwood and check it out, though. Why? Well, there's always tales of strange things out in those woods. I passed through more than a month back, and I remember seeing some ruins off the path. My guide said they belonged to some wealthy mage who locked herself away there long ago, and that she used to collect a lot of strange things. So who knows? Old acquaintance of mine is in that area too. Name's Vash. I wouldn't trust him further than I could throw him, which ain't far, but he knows the Coldwood well. I'd be honored to have you join up with me again, Tommy. Okie dokie, my lady.
That?
Please level up.
That? What can...
I want to talk. Have you always been a rogue, Tommy? Funny you should ask, my lady. I was an urchin on the streets of Kellenport first and foremost, and that's where I learned my street smarts. And I wasn't always that way. In fact, when I was a tender young lad, a kindly human wizard saw great promise in me and took me in. I was his apprentice, in fact, for quite some time. That's where I met my best friend Sammy, after all. He was another apprentice. I would have been a full wizard myself if things had worked out. What went wrong? Well, you know, you can take the lad out of the street, but you can't take the street out of the lad. I wasn't much for books and studying and all. That wizard, what was his name? Halasher? He saw something in me that I never saw. Said I would make a wizard whether I liked it or not. I thought I would make a wonderful thief if I could be invisible and fly around all the time. I just couldn't wait. Halasar had all these pretty things in his tower, unfortunately. So you stole them? Of course I stole them! What kind of rogue do you think I am? Got a good price on the streets, too. Even Halasar beat me black and blue by the time I returned. Once I swiped Halasar's spellbook and sold that for a pretty price, boy, was the old man furious. There was a storm brewing around his tower by the time I got back. Of course I had to lie and say that Sammy took the book. Come to think of it, that's how Sammy got kicked out of his apprenticeship. You got your friend kicked out? Well, he wasn't much of a wizard, and old Sammy wasn't my friend back then anyway. I made it up to him by becoming his pal later, once I stopped being an apprentice. The end of my apprenticeship is quite the story itself. I should tell you that sometime, my lady, if you're interested. That would be later, though. Right now we got a city to save, right? Body knock.
Hello, it is I, Body Knock Glinkle. It is good to see a friendly face in these unfamiliar surroundings.
It's good to see you again, Body Knock. I have to admit, I'm not surprised to find you here at all. At Beirun as well, Violet. Given your previous record of service, it was only logical to conclude that you would be among those recruited by Neverwinter's spymaster to aid his cause. That is partly why I chose to come here, Violet. I've found our previous experience together to be very enlightening. What do you know about the words of power? I doubt I can help you there, Violet. All I know is this area is limited accounts of Lantanese explorers detailing the hills to the north of Beirun as well. Tell me of these accounts. As you know, the love of exploration and the thrill of discovery are traits shared by all the people of Lanton. Whenever one of our people visits a foreign land, they make an account of all they experience. These accounts are added to the Great Library of Lanton, so all of our people can be enlightened. A few years ago, a gnome named Harigo Wanderlust returned to my island with his account of this region. The majority of his time was spent exploring the hills north of Erin as well, secretly observing the habits and activities of the giants who make their home there. Giants? Oh yes, we have no giants on Lanton, so my people are fascinated by them. Harigo's research is the most detailed account we have to date of these remarkable creatures. The subjects he was studying, hill giants, were the exact species, if I remember correctly, had actually chosen a king from among their numbers, and this king had united several bands of giants into a single powerful tribe. They had even constructed a giant steading to house the king, and from there they raided the lands to the south. Until Harigo's research, we assumed hill giants to be incapable of such high-level organization. Most of Harigo's research was of a scientific nature: diet, mating habits, activity cycles, habitat, and territory range. Academically compelling, but hardly useful in your mission, I'm afraid. I would love to see these giants before I leave the North, Violet, though I know my own wants must be set aside until the words of power are found. We should join up again. I would be honored to join up with you once more, Violet. Together, we could find the words of power and solve the mystery of who was truly behind the Neverwinter plague.
Is there something you...
Please level up.
Is there something you need?
I want to talk. I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Erebus' betrayal. How do you feel about it? Erebus' betrayal has caused me no amount of confusion, Violet. On the one hand, her actions appear irrational and illogical. She has vowed to destroy the city she spent her life protecting. But on the other hand, isn't it logical to assume a warrior will want to avenge the death of her lover? And what about Fenthic's death? What caused this whole mess? His execution made no sense. He was not an enemy of the city, and had he lived, he would have done everything in his power to help Neverwinter to make up for what he had done. What purpose is there in killing a man who is only going to be your ally in the future? Such irrational behavior is difficult for me to understand. Here's the thing. I don't agree with... I agree with Body Knock in that Fenthic's execution doesn't make any sense. I guess by letter of the law, Fenthic's actions were deserving of execution. I guess. In Lanton, we bow to the laws of reason and logic. Emotion can never be truly factored out of any decision, but we do our best to look at the facts with a dispassionate eye before taking action. I suppose in that sense we are quite different from many of the other cultures of Faerun. We will have to familiarize ourselves with these strange lands if we hope to integrate Lanton into mainland society. Integrate? What are you talking about? Lanton is an island, down by Chult, actually. By geography, we are isolated from the rest of the world. Over the centuries, this had led to an insular culture, particularly among my people, the gnomes. We consider ourselves safely removed from the trouble of the mainland. We have been fascinated observers of the history of Faerun, as benefits our analytical mindset, but we choose not to be active participants in events. Recently, however, our culture has embarked upon a radical journey of change, a revolutionary shift in our entire belief system. Soon, perhaps, even in my own lifetime, Lanton will become an important part of life in the realms. What are you talking about? Some kind of invasion? We are thinkers, inventors, and academics, Violet, not soldiers. We plan to bring our culture and beliefs to Faerun through peaceful means, though we are proceeding in a rational and logical fashion. Before we attempt to introduce ourselves to the existing order, we must study and analyze the current political and cultural realities in an organized and thorough fashion. Could you expect anything less, given our nature? Why the sudden change in ideology? As you can imagine, a revolution of this magnitude must be precipitated. I wanted to say predicated, that was not that word. Precipitated by an astonishing event. Without a significant catalyst, there cannot be a significant reaction. In our case, the catalyst is a single wondrous event. The day the god Grand Wonderbringer washed up on the shores of Lanton in mortal form. You're referring to the times of troubles, aren't you? You were right. Violet. I am speaking of the times of troubles, when the gods were forced to take mortal forms and walk among us. I would share the tale with you, but the story of Gond Wonderbringer's time on Lantern is a long one. Perhaps I will speak more of this later, but now is not the time. We need to focus on our mission. We have to get those words of power back to Erengand.
The fires of war are burning on the horizon. Why am I not surprised to see you here to forge your blood-drenched legacy in the furnace of slaughter?
It's good to see you again, Grimnaw. There are not many who claim it is good to see the members of my order, but you and I are of the same ilk. We do not shy from death and killing. When I heard Erengand was recruiting mercenaries to his cause, I knew you would come, just as I did. Our fates appear once more to be bound together. Erebus' betrayal has stoked the fires of war, and I am eager to see the killing begin. If we are lucky, this war will engulf the entire region. Do you know anything about the words of power? I have not heard anything of these words, though I once lived with my clan in the mountains of the north. Used to live in the region. Long ago, my dwarf clan dealt in the Dragon Mountains. Though when Bruenor Battlehammer reclaimed Mithril Hall, we left to join the others of our kind who flocked to his banner. At night, great worms could often be seen soaring over the moonlit skies. There were many legends of the hordes these winged serpents guarded, and many rumors of the mighty artifacts that could be found within. I do not specifically recall mention of the words of power, but I can only assume such a powerful item would likely be found in a dragon's lair. If you wish, Violet, I will gladly join you to seek out the words of power. I have no doubt our partnership would result in a scourge of death throughout the land. We should join up again.
Is there something you need?
Please level up. Hey, look at you, new armor.
Is there something?
I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Erebus' betrayal. How do you feel about it? I have mixed feelings about the Paladin's actions. They say she was driven to her betrayal by the execution of her lover. She could not accept his death, and it drove her mad with grief and a desire for revenge. As a member of the Order of the Long Death, her reaction to an inevitable event seems rather childish. The Silent Lord comes for us all. We might as well learn to accept it. Accepting death is one thing. Having your lover hung right in front of you is something else. Would she have felt better if her lover had had his entrails removed by a hungry troll, or had his limbs ripped from his sockets by an angry giant? Or perhaps she would have been less angry had a slow-acting poison drawn him into a sleep from which he would never awaken. Death is death, Violet. My order seeks to help the world understand this. So you disapprove of what she's done. The motives for her actions seem foolish to me, but the results are pleasing. She has brought war to the north. Thousands will die painful, shrieking deaths beneath the blades she has unleashed. The Silent Lord is eager to feast upon the table Erebeth has set for him. And while death gorges itself on the soldiers and civilians alike, I will be present to bear witness to my master's gluttony. You're a bloodthirsty freak, Grimnaw. I like it. That proved me towards evil. You have a love of death and bloodshed that is rare outside our order, Violet. Yet even you cannot truly fathom the beauty of death or the mysteries of the Silent Lord. As a monk of the Long Death, I was subjected to rituals and ceremonies that brought the true appreciation for what others fear in their ignorance. Torture, pain, suffering, and even death itself. These things are beautiful. I kill when I have to, Grimnaw, but I doubt I'll ever see anything beautiful in it. You bring destruction wherever you go. Your motives may be good or evil, but that makes no difference. Death is forever by your side, and the Silent Lord has placed his mark upon you. If I could share the experience of my initiation with you, you might begin to glimpse some small hint of what death truly means. Only the pure, absolute truth in an imperfect existence. So enlighten me. Tell me about your order's rituals. No, now is not the time. Eager as you are, I am afraid you are not ready for the wisdom I would share. Perhaps later I will speak more of this, but now is not the time. You are not yet ready. Let us return to our mission, for in doing so we will surely spread death throughout the north.
My dear friend, it warms my heart to see your face again. Erengand must have brought you here to help search for the words of power.
Good to see you again, Linu. After Erebus' betrayal, I readied myself for a return to Everesca, yet somewhere deep inside I prayed that we would meet once more. When I heard of Erengen's call for brave adventurers to serve the cause of Neverwinter to join the Lord's Alliance here at Bayerun as well, I knew I could not resist such a grand opportunity. You were drawn to heroic deeds like a glutton to a bakery. I grabbed the first ride out of town and came here. Well, the second ride actually got me here. Oh, Linu. What happened to the first ride? You make it sound as if... Oh, alright, never mind. I was supposed to hitch a ride with one of the supply wagons at first, but the wagon I was on broke. What did you do to it? Well, we had stopped for the night and I had this nightmare that a dragon was chasing me. I woke up out of the dream and I saw something large outlined against the moon. I should have known better. It didn't really look like a dragon, but I was frightened. So I cast the first spell that came to mind. The first blast of lightning did little damage, but it was the following three that shattered it to little tiny pieces. You never fail to surprise me, Linu. Yes, I seem to go to great lengths to cause trouble. It was dark and everyone was shocked by the lightning that no one knew where it came from. I suppose I probably should have told them it was me. I had to get here, though, and I will pay Lord Nasher back out of my own wages when we're done here. Oh, Linu. Do you know anything about the words of power, Linu? I don't know where they would be, although I would think that such magic would most likely be associated with the ancient times. This leads me to think about some ruins far to the south of here. What about them? I've read lately of ruins that contain traces of ancient cultures whose knowledge of magic ran deeper than any living today. I am an elf of Everesca, a land where studying the mysteries is more than a path. It is the highest calling. The ruins to the south called me, as if they hide knowledge that is imperative to us. I suppose that it may just be my own heritage, driving me to study something as old and unusual as these ruins are reputed to be, but it might be even more than that. I will follow your lead as always, my dear Violet. You are a better judge than such things than I am. I'd love to have you travel with me again. Then I shall endeavor to keep you alive once more. Just try occasionally to keep out of harm's way. Sometimes I think you are as bad as I am for getting in trouble.
Hey there, dear.
Please level up.
Hey there, dear.
What made you decide you should be a cleric? It's been a long time since someone asked me that question. I came to Sayanine Moonbow when I was very young, which is unusual since my parents were both mages and followers of the god Corellin. It started when I was sent to the Gaedelin Centristi's School for Potentials. You see, both my parents were deep into mysteries and held positions of respect. It was assumed that I would take after my parents in the magical arts. What are potentials? All children of gifted wizards in Everesca are sent to special schools as potentials, because they are expected to excel in furthering the art of spellcraft. My ability to get into trouble had already started by that age, and my parents had kept it quiet, thinking I would grow out of it. Boy, were they wrong. My first day of classes was a disaster, and I don't think any of it had anything to do with my ability for spellcasting. I had an insatiable curiosity, and Gaedelin was a crocodile master who expected all elven children to be patient, quiet, and orderly. I barely possess those traits now, let alone when I was a child. The master decided to open class with a powerful spell to awe us into submission to his tutelage. He turned his back, and I moved in. What do you mean by moved in? I wanted to look at all the spell components. They were very interesting, especially this wonderful gem he had sitting beside the circle. Well, he went to reach for the gem, and it wasn't there. The spell misfired, causing him to ooze purple smoke for weeks. So we kicked you out? Gaedelin was well paid for training us. He didn't kick me out right away, but he never forgave me either. It also wasn't the only accident to befall the class while I was around. Despite all this, I still might have become a wizardess if it wasn't for a little trip I took. There was an accident that will long be remembered in our fair city. My fate becomes sealed to the fate of Sayanine that day. What fate, little trip? We have too much to do right now to tell that tale. We need to find the words of power for Erengend if we are to save Neverwinter.
Somehow I knew you couldn't be far. As soon as Erengend mentioned why we were brought here, I began wondering when you would pop up.
Good to see you again, Sharwin. Did I say it was good to see you? I only said I knew you'd come. I only jest. Of course it is good that you're here. I wasn't going to come to Bayerun as well originally. I figured I had done enough by your side, but the story isn't finished just yet, is it? And you know what a sucker I am for a good tale. So what do you say then? Shall we join it together again? I want to see this unfold firsthand. Do you know anything about the words of power, Sharwin? No, nothing at all. I find that strange too. I know considerable of Laura, yet neither I nor any of the tomes I've researched mention them. I had an idea where to look, however. Where? South of Fort Ilkard, there is supposed to be some ancient ruins, older than any settlement in the Northlands by far, so the tales say. It was supposedly home to a creator race that predates even the elves, if you can imagine that. So I've never heard of anyone returning from it, though, so it could be anything. The magic power in the area is supposed to be incredible. There are stone monoliths, which are too dangerous even to approach, which would give me even more reason to believe these words may be there. I would be honored to have you join with me again. I'm at your disposal.
Yes?
Level up, please.
Yes? Is there some...
How about telling me a tale, Sharwin? You're a bard, after all. I normally save my best tales for taverns with full audience. Why should I recount a tale only for you? Because I asked you nicely? Oh? So Violet puts on a pleasant tone and I am supposed to jump to please her, is that it? Tell you what, I'll tell you a tale, if you promise to listen attentively and be a proper audience. I can do that. Well, that's good. I'll hold you to it then. What story should I tell then? Shall I tell a tale of the great Violet, savior of Neverwinter, and her search for the words of power? I think I know that one. Not like I tell it, believe me. You're probably right, however. The subject matter would be a bit familiar, and I'm a bit fuzzy on the ending. How about the sad tale of the great Lady Erebeth, torn between love and honor, fallen from the grace of Tyr? I've heard the ending. That's true, isn't it? Too bad. Hers is a sad tale that itches to be told. Let's see, I'll think of something else. How about the tale of the great Lord Nasher? How the man was in his glory days before he became a sad old ruler? How about something original? You're going to be picky, aren't you? Very well then, give me some time to think about it. For now, let's continue with the making of your own tale. That was nice and quick. Alright, time for our boy Dalen.
Greetings and well met. It is good to look upon you once more. No doubt Aaron Gend has brought you here to aid in the search for the words of power.
It's good to see you again, Dalen. After Erebeth's betrayal, I meant to travel north in search of the quest to prove myself to my tribe. Yet, even as we parted ways, I suspected we would meet once more. And then I heard of Erenghen's call for those who would serve the cause of Neverwinter to join the Lord's Alliance here at Bayern as well. A holy place to the Uthgard. I thought it would be a sign from my gods. After all you've done for Neverwinter, I knew you would be here. That's why I came, to join you once more. I feel our fates are bonded together. Do you know anything about the words of power? I've heard nothing of these words, though recent events concerning the Uthgard Elk tribe may be worth investigating. How so? The Elk tribe has allied itself with the Luskan forces. As incredible as it sounds, they've attacked Fort Ilkard and settlers to the farms to the south. I am of the Red Tiger tribe, but there are values and beliefs common to all of the Uthgard people. We are warriors and hunters, not bloodthirsty savages. The Uthgard are a people of honor. I believe some evil force is at work, a dark taint that has polluted the noble spirit of the Elk tribe. There can be no other explanation for their actions. I only mention the Elk tribe because you ask. If you allow me to join you once more, I will of course go wherever you choose to go. I'd be honored to have you join up with me. Then once more, my blade is yours to command.
Yes?
Oh, you get to level up too.
Yes? Is there something you need?
I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Erebeth's betrayal. Why do you think she did it? There are some who claim Erebeth betrayed Neverwinter out of grief. Others say she seeks to avenge Fenthic's death out of some perverse sense of justice. There are even those who say she was driven mad by Fenthic's execution and is not aware of what she's doing. But I think something else drives her now. What do you think her reason is? Neverwinter turned its back on her. The city rejected her and its people cast her out. There's no pain so great as being turned away from those you most want to take you in. What are you talking about? They never turned her out. Perhaps not, but Erebeth no doubt felt that they did. The people blamed Fenthic enough to kill him. How could she not feel that they despised her as well? Then Lord Nasher sent her to Port Last with Erengend. It was obvious Lord Nasher wanted an excuse to send her away from the city. No doubt he thought it best to calm the people and keep Erebeth from suffering their wrath as Fenthic had, but in her grief she would have seen it as a cold and brutal rejection, a symbolic banishment. Sounds like you think she was justified. I am not saying what Erebeth did was right or even justified, but there is a tale among the Uthgard, an ancient legend of consequences and betrayal. Fentic's execution and Erebus' betrayal remind me of a tale of my own people. I only hope Neverwinter does not suffer the same fate as the Uthgard. What fate would that be? Perhaps later I'll tell you the tale, but now is not the time for me to speak of this. We must focus on finding the words of power for Erengend if we are to save Neverwinter. Henchmen, don't care. Dalen spoke briefly of Erebeth, mentioning a link between her story and the old Uthgard tribe that he knows. Sharwin suggested she might tell you one of the tales from her bardic repertoire. Linu began a tale of how she started in her life as a cleric for the goddess Sayanine Moonbow. Grimnaw spoke briefly of Erebeth and mentioned he was eagerly looking forward to the upcoming war. Bodynock spoke of his homeland, the isolated Isle of Lantern, and how the god Gond washed ashore there, changed Lantern forever. Tommy began a story regarding his early and presumably brief apprenticeship with the wizard Halasar. Alright. Of course, nothing finished. Alright, so let's go. Let's go pick up some more quests. That's the first episode of these, is always just picking up quests. Alright, so let's try the drinking house. The later in the game we get, the more fuzzy I am on where all the quests are, but I think I know. There's Lillian Cambridge. He's involved in a quest. Lodar, well, Lillian Cambridge definitely is.
About time you showed up. I've been waiting at least 10 minutes for someone to come by and refill my drink.
You spoke with Lillian Cambridge. I'm not here to fill your drink. I'm Violet Niam. I work for Erengend. Ah, yes, Violet Niam, the hero of Neverwinter. I'd drink a toast to your legendary deeds if my glass wasn't empty. My name is Lillian Cambridge, an archaeologist. I am the Norse leading expert in antiquities and ancient artifacts. No doubt Erengend has told you that I've come to offer my rather unique knowledge to aid the cause of the Lord's Alliance. I'd like to ask you some questions. That is why I'm here, to answer your questions about the words of power and the creator race that constructed them, and to sample the local wines, of course. Where can I find the words of power? If it was as simple as drawing you a map, Violet, I'd have told Erengend everything I know. You have to remember that the words are thousands and thousands of years old. The creator race that fashioned the words predated even the first elven kingdoms. Everything I know about them is theory and conjecture upon a foundation of myth and legend. Surely you must know something. I can tell you that there were several words of power created, and they have been scattered throughout the north and lost for countless millennia. All that remain are rumors of where they might have disappeared. Some believe the words were taken by the dragons who dwell in the mountains to the west. Others claim clues to their location may be found in the long deserted ruins to far south of Fort Ilkerd, or hidden in the forest to the north. The truth is, they could be anywhere, though I believe I learned the location of one of the words after many years of research and study. Where can I find this word? Before I tell you the location of the word of power, I need you to perform a task. Something very precious was stolen from me recently. A snow globe I had acquired on behalf of a very wealthy benefactor. If you want me to tell you what I know about the location of the word of power, you'll have to recover the snow globe for me. Where can I find the snow globe? I was en route to deliver the snow globe to my buyer when it was stolen from me by an unscrupulous, albeit rather charming, wizard named Nax. From what he told me, Nax was in these parts doing some research of his own. It seems he found a magical entrance to a deserted laboratory of a long-dead wizard somewhere in Coldwood to the north. I bet Nax is exploring that laboratory right now, and with my snow globe at his side. But if you want to go after him, you need his teleportation scroll. Nax told me it was the only way to pass through the magical portal leading to the dungeon. How did you manage to get this teleportation scroll? And why did Nax tell you all this? I'm a capable and attractive woman, and I'm not above using my charms to further my archaeological investigations. Nax offered to buy me a few drinks, we got to talking of our respective research, and one thing led to another. Afterwards, when Nax fell asleep, I borrowed the scroll and slipped off to have copies made before returning the scroll to his pack. I plan to do a little investigating of this dungeon on my own later on. But while I was out making copies, Mac took my snow globe. I didn't notice until he was long gone. I guess it's my own fault for leaving him asleep in my room. I don't carry a grudge against Snacks for what he did. I just want the snow globe back. Deliver it to me, and I'll tell you the location of one of the words of power. I'd like to ask you some questions. I don't care. I got what I needed from her. Get me out of here. It's loud. It's loud. Tommy's contract. Grimnaw's gem. I already have Dalen's feather. Sharwin's contract. And teleport scroll. Good. Lillian Cambridge is looking for a brave adventurer to recover a valuable snow globe stolen from her by a wizard named Nax. In exchange, she's offered to reveal the location of one of the words of power. She believes Nax is exploring an ancient laboratory somewhere in the cold wood, accessible only by using a very special teleportation scroll. This is a lot. No, this is the mercenary enclave.
I don't recognize you. And I thought I knew all the new recruits who've joined the Lord's Alliance.
I work for Erengend. Violet Niam, the same Violet Niam who saved Neverwinter from the plague? We could use a good woman like you on the battlefront. It's too bad Gend has you working on something else. You must have come here to purchase some equipment, right? So what can I interest you in? A good sword? A stout shield, perhaps? Or was there something else? Can I ask you some questions? Truth, and I don't have time to play the information clerk. I'm too busy trying to run a war here. Erengend's put me in charge of training and equipping the troops for battling the Luskan forces. Seems he's too busy searching for those words of power to bother with a little thing like war. Normally I wouldn't complain, but this isn't exactly what I signed on for. We can't fight a war with no supplies. No supplies? What are you talking about? It's those blasted Orcish raiders. Every time we get a new supply line set up on the battlefront, those damn bandits cut it off. An army is no good if they don't have a steady stream of supplies replenishing their stores. I tell you, if this keeps up, we might as well surrender to Luskan right now. Maybe I could help with the supply lines. Hey, I'll welcome any help I can get. I already put out a bounty on the heads for the two most famous orc bandits in the region, Vath and Guzid. I figured if they both get taken out, the rest of the thieving scum will get the message and back off. I'm offering 500 gold pieces on each of them, payable upon delivery of their decapitated head. I'll be back to collect those bounties. Good luck. It won't be easy to find those bandit hideouts. Vath and Guzid have both been in business for years and no one's tracked them down yet. Take this writ, though. It identifies you as a bounty hunter under my authority. Real Kid of the Mighty Lance, supply master for Bayarun as well, wants to send a message to the raiders attacking the Lord's Alliance supply lines. He's offered a substantial bounty to anyone who delivers him the heads of the infamous orc bandits Vath and Guzid. Can I fit that in here? Yeah, I sure can. Now, who lives in here? Zed and Jevin are both involved in another quest, but they're not the givers. Okay, it's not. It's a door. Oh my god. It's. I'll just go it the other way, shall I? What is this? This is Temple of Tyr. Nurik!
Hail to ye!
Oh, greetings. It's me, Nurik. Remember, I was serving in Tyr's church in Port Last until Erengend asked me to come and oversee this temple here at Bayarun as well. I remember, Nurik. Good to see you again. You had the werewolf quest. I'm surprised you remember me, what with everything on your mind. The Luskan cult, Erebus betrayal. Why, that's enough to make someone forget their own name. To be honest, I admit I almost didn't recognize you, the great hero of Neverwinter. I'm struggling with a problem that has me a little out of sorts lately. Maybe I could help you with the problem. I don't know, this is a very delicate matter. Recently, an Uthgard tribesman named Rolgan killed one of the Lord's Alliance soldiers. He claims it was in self-defense, and I have to give him sanctuary here to save him from the vengeance of the soldier's friends. But Rolgan cannot stay in the temple forever. I'm trying to arrange a fair trial for the young man, but his Uthgard friends are unfamiliar with our justice system. None of the Lord's Alliance mercenaries wants to defend him during the trial. Maybe I could defend him. Your offer is a generous one, and as Tyr's priest, I will ensure you're properly compensated according to the defense you present. After careful consideration, I've selected a jury. There will be 2 who represent the interests of the Uthgard, 2 who represent the mercenaries, and my own acolyte, Edgar. I feel this was the only way to be fair. If you agree to undertake this case, I can give you the details, or is there something else you want? I'll do it. Take this notebook. It contains information on the jurors and witnesses, as well as the details of the case and the trial itself. As an officer of Tyr, you must keep the notebook to record the progress of the case. I can summarize the notebook for you. First, the jurors. A mercenary named Averick, a ranger named Dalcia, a soldier named Jevin, an Uthgard wise woman called Paula, and of course my own acolyte Edgar. Feel free to speak with any of the jurors before the trial. It is common practice to do so in these matters. The ranger and Paula can be found in the Uthgard camp. The others are here in buildings housing Lord's Alliance members. What about the witnesses? The prosecutor has advised me he will be calling 2 mercenaries who witnessed the event, Zed and Lodar. He will question Vonda, the wife of the accused. I suggest you speak with these people before the trial to gather what evidence you can. And of course, there's Uthgard himself, Rolgan. He doesn't have to testify, but if you call him to defend his actions, then the prosecutor will also be able to question him. He is here in the back of the temple here if you wish to speak with him. I'll begin my investigation next episode. Rolgan is counting on you to bring forth the truth at his trial. Once you have all the evidence, come speak to me and we can begin the proceedings. Nope, that's it. That's all I wanted. How are we going? That's the death guy. Okay. What is this building? The Many-Star Cloak Enclave has a quest for us. Oh, Eltora!
Greetings. Normally, I don't deal with those who have no experience in the arcane arts, but Erin Gend has asked me to make my inventory available to everyone, if it will help the war effort. I still don't think I want to give you access to my lab in the back. That's reserved for those who have some experience in magic. But I will open my inventory to you, though most of the items are more suited to mages and their ilk.
Do you know my name? Nope. Hang on, where's her quest? Nope, she doesn't have the quest. You don't have the quest. No, wait, you don't have a... She doesn't have a quest for me. I was wrong. I think the quest is here, actually. That guy wants to talk to me, but I'll get there in a moment. Yes, he does. Okay. Nurk, the cleric at Tyr's temple, needs someone to defend Rolgan, an Uthgard tribesman accused of murder. Fun fact, I tried to play this quest with a character that had an intelligence too low to speak properly. My dear lovely Thunk. And he wouldn't let me even start the quest because I was too dumb to be a judge. I was too dumb to be a lawyer. The details of the case are included in the trial notebook, including the names of some witnesses and jurors that must be spoken to, and preparing an adequate case for the defense. Okay. Hatcher Clay.
Hello there.
Greetings, friend. Hatcher Clay at your service. Care to check out the wares here in the newest branch of my adventuring gear shop? What do you mean the newest branch? Well, I used to run a little place ways down south. Business was good, but the big money is in franchising, so I left my son in charge of the store and headed north to expand my merchant empire. I came across these rich adventurers gathered here in Neverwinter as well. I figured this was the perfect place to set up a new shop until I get my license to sell in Neverwinter. Oh, I'm looking for, what kind of things do you sell? Little this, little that. Items, magic, and mundane. Anything an adventurer might need. I'm searching for the words and powers. I'm afraid that's something I don't actually have in stock. Haha! But seriously, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. Yeah, Lillian came by to ask you some questions. Hang on. Oh, maybe you'll find her more helpful than I did. What do you mean by that? Well, I heard there was an archaeologist nearby, and I went to speak with her about a certain item I've been trying to track down. But she wasn't really interested. Said she only wanted items of historical significance, and that she didn't have time to chase after trinkets. I even offered her a generous reward, but she seemed more interested in the wine bottle at the table than my story. Maybe I could help you. Maybe you could at that. You seem like a capable woman. Tell you what, you help me out, and I'll give you the payment I was offering Lillian. What's the job? In addition to my retail business, I'm a collector of rare gems. Right now, there's one particular gem I'm interested in, the Star Sapphire. The Star Sapphire is valuable, that'll warrant you, but you'll never get more than 1,000 gold from any other dealer. It's interesting to me as a collector, so I'm offering more. I'll give you 3,000 gold if you bring it back to me. Why do you want it? The Star Sapphire was part of a dowry given to Leanne Chareau, the youngest daughter of a powerful merchant family that flourished in Waterdeep nearly 2 centuries ago. But Leanne wasn't ready to resign herself to a life of wedlock. She was an aspiring mage, and the morning of her wedding, she fled north to seek her fame and fortune. According to the reports, Leanne became quite an accomplished wizard. She was powerful enough to foresee her own death and construct an elaborate trap-filled tomb to inter her remains. So you think the Star Sapphire is still in her tomb? By all accounts, the Star Sapphire was one of her most treasured possessions. It reminded her of the life she had left behind in Waterdeep. The Star Sapphire would make a nice addition to my collection. Bring it back to me and I'll give you 3,000 gold pieces, the same price I offered Lillian. It's far more than the Sapphire's worth to a more typical buyer. I'll do it. Excellent. Nobody knows for certain where Leanne was buried, but it's rumored to be somewhere in the Coldwood. If anyone ever found the exact location of her tomb, they never came back alive to report it. But don't let that scare you off. I'm sure it's nothing you can't handle. Just bring me the Star Sapphire once you find it, and I'll give you your reward. Now, is there anything else? No. Goodbye. Usher Clay of the Adventuring Gear Shop is looking for someone to bring him the Star Sapphire. The gem was buried with the mage Leanne Chareau, whose trap-infested tomb is believed to be hidden somewhere in the Coldwood. Alright, that guard wanted to speak to me before. My voice is starting to go. This first episode of the new chapter is always really hard on my voice. Okay, fine, let's go around the building. That makes sense.
Something I can do for you?
You're going up to the top of the plateau to see Bayerrune as well? If you are, just watch your step. I wouldn't trust those Uthgard savages as far as I could throw them. I'll be going now. Okay. You have a quest for me, Yusam.
Welcome, friend. I am Yusam, Druid of the North, liaison between the Lord's Alliance and the Uthgard.
You are free to take solace in the tranquility of my grove if you wish, or is there some other reason you sought me out? I work for Aaron Ged. When the Lord's Alliance came to set up camp here, Aaron told me he was recruiting agents to search for lost artifacts of ancient magic. I wish you success in your quest, so I was told Aaron I'm more concerned with the plight of the Uthgard people. Plight of the Uthgard? What do you mean? My child, this war has taken a terrible toll on the Uthgard. The armies of Luskan lay waste to their land, and the Black Lion tribe has lost many warriors battling alongside the Lord's Alliance soldiers. But it is for the Uthgard Elk tribe that I worry the most of all. They have aligned themselves with the Luskan destroyers to slaughter the defenseless settlers found around Fort Ilkard to the south. You're a druid, can't you make them stop? Once the Elk tribe welcomed my counsel, but they have since turned their backs on the way of nature. The emissaries I have sent to investigate have all been ruthlessly slain. You are not a child of nature, so perhaps you cannot understand the pain I feel over what's happened with the Elk tribe. Perhaps I could investigate this for you. Your offer is generous, child. I cannot leave this grove, and there is nowhere else I may turn for aid. I fear, however, that you do not truly understand what you're about to undertake. Such a task would be dangerous, my child. The Elk tribe have slain all who tried to parley with them. But if you could discover why the Elk tribe have turned their backs on us, I would be most grateful. The Elk tribe fortified themselves inside their keep west of Fort Ilkard, although they continue to make raids on the fort. Perhaps if you go there, you can find them and speak to Zokan Thunderer, their chief. I'll be back when I learn more of the Elk tribe. Go, child, and may a gentle breeze carry you safely to your destination, like the summer winds that bring seeds to replenish the eternal forest. That was poetic. Alright, well that is actually all the quests in that can be picked up in Bayern as well. So that I need to investigate the Elk Tribe. Usam is looking for someone to investigate the Oathguard Elk Tribe. The Druid is convinced there must be some reason that they've turned away from the Lord's Alliance and joined with the Luskan army. Usam believes the Elk Tribe and their leader Zoke and Thunderer are in the keep to the west of Fort Ilkard. Well that, I think, is all that my voice can handle. So that's where I'm going to call it today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I've been Rael, and I'll see you next time. Bye!